First of all, we will need to download the software from ST Electronics. There is a link that is available below, but I'll show you how to find it by yourself, because it's never good practice to go and just choose whatever URL someone comes up with. So we can see I've found the STM32CubeIDE. Now, whilst all of this may seem sort of blindingly obvious, you will see that things tend to move around on the ST website, because this bar is usually well populated, and then when it knows what the product is, it then reduces the number of items. It may not show the get software straight away if it's the first time that you've been to it, but when it does appear, you can get software. And obviously I want the one for Windows, so we will get latest. We have to accept the license agreement, which if you use STM software, you will be doing quite a lot. I'm already registered, so I shall go ahead and put those details in, or more correctly, Chrome will put things in. There's a little bit of a delay while the CDN figures things out, and as you can see, we have a selection of menu items, whilst the system at the other end has a bit of a think, and then it gets software, but because I've already clicked the button, it knows to download it. I'm just showing you this because it just catches people out and they end up clicking on things, and the website just doesn't quite behave as they expect. So you can see it's not a small download, it's around 800 megabytes. So we will show in folder, and then because I happen to use WinRAR, but you know, Windows will allow you to extract. I strongly recommend that you keep archives of all of these files, because whilst the CubeIDE does allow you to step back in time, there are some of the support files that come with it that are no longer available once there is a new release, and that can really trip you up if you were using version 1.2 and it's now on 1.5. 1.5 doesn't work, breaks your system, but you can't get back to 1.2. So do archive these. I know they're quite big, but hard disk space is cheap. So we have a book standard installer that Windows is saying was modified a long time ago. Very Star Wars. Double click, and it's all pretty straightforward from here. It's just a fairly standard sort of installer. There will be some bits and pieces. You absolutely need the ST-Link drivers for pretty much any of the basic programmers, and if you've got a Sega J-Link, you might as well install those at the same time. The space required is big enough anyway. So we can sort of let that run. Don't walk away at this stage until you've got to the point of trusting the device drivers. But once we get into the run of things, as we are now, you can go and get yourself a beverage of your choice. And we are done. It's up to you whether you want your desktop shortcut or not, but now we've done that, we can close these things away, and a quick double click, and we are launching the IDE, which is based on Eclipse. Like many different IDEs, they all have their benefits. I am going to create a bucket or workspace, which I'm going to call GNSE, and I'm going to make this the default. It's easy enough to switch between workspaces, but having this pop up every single time you launch gets old very quickly. So I'll expand this out so that we get the whole screen. Windows Defender wants to allow it to communicate on the home network, well, all of these up to your personal preference. And then it asks if we want to improve its products by sending information in the background. It's entirely up to you. I'm just going to click Ask Later, and you get the home page or welcome page. So that is what it takes to get the STM32CubeIDE installed under Windows. Just a couple of wrinkles on the website for you to pay attention to, but otherwise it's a fairly generic installer.